John Jordan O'Neill, affectionately known as Buck. Buck joined the Monarchs in 1938, where he began a love affair with Kansas City. As Buck would say, he fell in love with Kansas City, and Kansas City loved him back. And it would be an affiliation that he would have with the Monarchs from 1938 through the end of the 1955 season. Buck would later become a player-manager with the Monarchs before leaving to go join the Chicago Cubs as a scout. And as a scout, he signed Hall of Famers Ernie Banks, Lou Brock, and Lee Arthur Smith to their first professional baseball contract. And then Buck himself would break barriers in Major League Baseball by becoming the first African-American coach in Major League Baseball history with the Chicago Cubs in 1962. And he said of his pioneering role, "I was very proud to be the first black coach. But he says, I couldn't stick out my chest because I knew all of these other great black baseball minds from the Negro Leagues who were more than capable of waving a guy home."
Buck O'Neill steps in with a chance to do some damage. Buck O'Neill is so important to the history of baseball, not just because of his role on the field and in the front office, but because he fought so hard to make sure people remembered the amazing players of the Negro Leagues. The lefty, the 1-0. And there's a ball. Buck was one of the leaders in the establishment of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City in the early 90s, and he was a pioneer as a scout and a coach when the Cubs hired him in the 50s. Taylor makes the play, and it's out number 3. Hard ground ball, base knock. Coming home. The throw in. And he's in there as a run scores on the play, and that ties the game. Buck steps up in a scoring opportunity. Buck got hooked on baseball early growing up in Sarasota, Florida. His dad worked in a sawmill and played for the company team, and Buck was the bat boy. That misses the zone. Ball one.
After Buck's uncle took him to some exhibition games between Rube Foster's Chicago American Giants and the Indianapolis ABCs, Buck kept up with the Negro Leagues by reading black newspapers like the Chicago Defender, the Pittsburgh Courier, and the Amsterdam News.
Hard ground ball for a base knock. Smith rounds third, headed for the plate. The throw is offline, and he's in to score. On the board first, it's 1-0.
Well, he comes through clutch with the RBI single. That was big. Not much to this one other than just a willingness to go the other way and put the ball in play. That's a team at bat right there. Nice job of staying back and letting the ball get deep.
And that one is lifted in the air. Smith should have this one. And that is that. And first offering is fouled off. Next offering down low and in the dirt.
When Buck was a teenager, he wanted to go to Sarasota High School, but it was segregated. And his grandma saw just how much that upset him, and she gave him hope, saying that someday kids of all races will go to that school.
And there's a rocket into the outfield. So a man aboard now with one away.
Everything came together perfectly for him right there. That pretty much split the zone down the middle, and those are the ones where you got to make them pay.
This one blasted deep to left. Way out of here. Home run.
When Buck joined the Monarchs in 1938, he became their go-to guy at first base. He was a great first baseman, a tremendous defensive first baseman with line drive power, and was always a great clutch hitter and a natural-born leader of men.
One down. Buck O'Neil digging in now. Besides being a great manager, Buck was an excellent player. In 1940, he hit .307 and led the Negro American League in doubles and RBI. Swung on, belted. Harvey ranging back. Back some more. In one, hops off the wall. Should be extra bases. Runner from second crosses the plate. It's 2-0.
Big ain't down for the ride. Feeling like the mafia when we go mob. I be with some that be really outside. I'm out to drive and see the
Buck O'Neil digging in now. Buck was more than just a manager for the Monarchs. He had to make sure the team found new talent all the time. He brought a ton of great players to the Monarchs roster over the years. And first offering is fouled off.
Buck brought a lot of talented players to the Monarchs, but he couldn't convince everyone to sign with them. The Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Gibson turned down an offer from Kansas City to go play basketball in college.
McDonald settles under it and makes the catch. And there's 2 down. Swing and a pop-up foul at a play off to the right side. That'll find the stands. Slice to right. Smith snags it for the second out. Buck was a huge star in Kansas City in the 1930s and 40s. The Monarchs were there at a time when it was the go-to city for jazz and blues music. And that's a strike. There was an after-hours club called the Subway that Buck and some of the Monarchs would go to, and the jam sessions could fill another Hall of Fame. On the right night, you could see Count Basie playing with Charlie Parker. McDonald makes the catch, and there's 1 gone. So 2 away with nobody on. Buck O'Neil will hit next. This to center field. McDonald under it. Pulls it down, and he makes the catch. And that will end the inning. Buck O'Neil digging in now. In the air out to center. McDonald has this one sized up. 2 away down. And first offering is fouled off. Kicks and deals. Sharp grounder. That's through for a base hit.
He was all over that one. Once you get the ball by the pitcher, there's a lot of base hits up the middle, even on ground balls. So a nice job to use that big hole and get himself a hit.
Laser could be extra bases. Runner around third on his way to the plate. 1 runs in. Bradley headed for the plate. He scores as well. 3-0. Not in time. He's safe.
Big one there as he drives in a couple of runs. Put a really nice balanced swing on it, and when you can rope one into the gap like that, you're thinking extra bases from the first couple of steps out of the box, and he'll feel real good about that one.
Now a screamer into the outfield. McDonald makes the grab on the run.
Good money, oh Lord. Better be careful there, bud. It's no chance for me. Got a scandalous app.
One down. Next is the speedy first baseman, Buck O'Neil. Center field. McDonald settles underneath it. He's there. He's got it. And there are two down. Johnson back to work. On a line. Hauls it in. One away. And the first pitch misses for ball one. That misses the zone. 2 balls, no strikes. The wind to kick the 2-0. A little bit low. That one hammered but pulled foul. And a 3-1 on the way. That's hard hit on the line. And it's a one-hopper off the wall. Should be extra bases. And that's a double.
All over that one right there. Loud contact leads to the double. I mean, you could tell it had extra bases written all over it as it jumped off of his stick.
Ball one, no strike.
And the righty deals. Swing and a hard hit liner up the middle to base hit. So they get a man aboard with a 1-out single.
Man, those are the types of hits where you don't feel any vibration in your hands whatsoever.
Buck O'Neil digging in now. Smith over at first with one away. That one drilled left field. That's back there. And gone. First pitch, and he just misses. Next pitch in the dirt, and that's ball 2. That's towards center. McDonald moving under this one, and he makes the catch. Runner tags from third, cut off, now a throw home, but it's offline, and they lead by 3. Line drive, jumps, but it's off his glove. Not in time. He's safe. Ripped on a line. And that's a base hit. Around first and hustling for second. And that's going to roll to the wall. They're still chasing it as he rounds second. And his 3rd hit of the game is a triple.
Buck O'Neil had huge hands, but soft hands, great range, and great instinct. As a matter of fact, Buck delighted in letting you know that one season alone, he had one error the entire season. If you got it over to Buck, he was going to pick it because he could flat out pick it. All of those attributes helped make him one of the greatest defensive first basemen in Negro Leagues history.
So 2 down. Buck O'Neil digging in now. Like a lot of other Negro League players, Buck played outside the United States in the winters. He played in Cuba against some of the best in the country, like Martin Digo, Dolph Luque, and Lefty Tion. Glass makes the grab, and that's the inning. That one out to right. Smith gets there. He's under it. Makes the catch. That is the inning. First offering misses the mark.
And later in life, Buck said something really poignant about how differently he was treated outside the U.S. He said, in Cuba, Mexico, Puerto Rico, I was a baseball player. When I got back home, I was a black baseball player. But he was so positive about his life, he told anyone who asked not to pity him because he got to play with some of the best players ever.
Lifted in the air, right field. Smith puts the squeeze on that one, and that'll end the inning. Man at first, and here. So 2 down. Buck O'Neil now at the plate. And takes low for ball 1. And that's ripped for a base hit. Runner from third in to score. It's 2-zip.
Comes through with the RBI. Really good swing right there. He got a pitch that he knew he could handle, allowed himself to stay back just a tad bit longer, and he hit the ball on the screws.
Down the left field line, could be extra bases. Bradley rounds second on his way to third. The relay throw. Safe at the plate. And they lead by 2.
Show me green, show me love, show me friends from the jump. Who's still with me when I'm done? New riches. Hey.
People often ask Buck O'Neil, what was your greatest day in baseball? And he would just light up like a Christmas tree in remembering Easter Sunday, 1943. The Kansas City Monarchs opened the season against the Memphis Red Sox. Buck would say the first time up, he doubled. The second time up, he singled. The third time up, he hit the ball over the left center field fence. The fourth time up, he hit the ball. It looked like it's going over the left center field fence. He's running the bases saying to himself, hit the fence, hit the fence, hit the fence. The ball does hit the fence. It ricochets between the left fielder and the right fielder. Buck gets to third base. They're waving him home. He could have gotten an inside-the-park home run, but he stopped because he wanted to hit for the cycle. Well, that evening, the Monarchs' traveling secretary, a guy by the name of William Dismuke, everybody called him Dizzy. Well, Dizzy had invited some young school teachers over to the hotel to have dinner with the ball players. He knocks on Buck's door. He says, "Buck, I got some people downstairs I want you to meet." He walks into the restaurant. He says he walks right over to a young lady. He says, "My name is Buck O'Neil. What's yours?" She was Ora Lee Owens. They were married for 51 years. So he hit for the cycle and met his future wife of 51 years. I'd say that's a pretty good day.
So 2 down, and now the first baseman, Buck O'Neil.
One time, Buck was managing a team starring Ernie Banks in an East-West All-Star game in Chicago. The game was going to be stopped in the 9th because they were almost out of balls. Buck said, "Wait, we don't need any more balls. This next kid will end the game." And then Ernie Banks hit a walk-off 3-run homer.
Raymond back to work. And that one sliced foul. Now the 0-1. Sliced the other way. That's a base hit. Now he turns and heads for second. Not stopping. He's going for 3. And he's into third base with a leadoff triple.
Came up flipping chickens, flip a ton, tunnel vision, juice dripping, talking 33, chain, Scotty Pippen.
It's really interesting that Buck O'Neil won his only batting title in 1946 after being discharged from World War II, where he had served in the U.S. Navy's Subic Bay, Philippines. And maybe we owe Uncle Sam for the reason that Buck O'Neil was burning that ball up when he got home. Clearly, Buck was glad to be back on U.S. soil. He had always been a clutch hitter, line drive hitter with great power. But in 1946, he put it all together and actually helped lead the Kansas City Monarchs into the 1946 Negro League World Series.
Here's Buck O'Neil, who boasts the top batting average in the league. That 1946 Monarchs team that Buck led to the Negro American League Championship was just stocked with talent. What a luxury to have a pitching rotation with Satchel Paige, Hilton Smith, and Connie Johnson, all aces in their own right. Glass makes the grab, and that'll end the inning. Why to kick the pitch. Out to short. On to first. And one gone in the fourth as they get the leadoff man. Hammered. Could be extra bases. One runs in. Runner around third. He'll score as well. It's 3-2. He is safe.
Well, a huge 2 RBI swing of the bat right there. Center fielders in today's game are so talented and so athletic. So when you blast one to deep center and get it to drop in, you know you really put a great swing on it. And that was nicely done for extra bases.
Hit hard. Should be extra bases. Safe at second with nobody out, and that double has the go-ahead run in scoring position. Here's Buck O'Neil, who boasts the top batting average in the league. Step off, throw to first. Back in safe, really close. That 1946 Monarchs team that Buck led to the Negro American League Championship was just stocked with talent. What a luxury to have a pitching rotation with Satchel Paige, Hilton Smith, and Connie Johnson, all aces in their own right. And the throw's offline, safe at third.
On top of Buck as a batting champion, the 46 Monarchs had a bunch of strong hitters, including Hank Thompson, Willard Brown, and Ted Strong.
Hilton Smith also hit better than 400 as a pitcher that year. One of the great rosters of the Negro Leagues. And it's 1-1. Hammered, and this one could be extra bases. Perry around third. He will score. It's 3-0.
Well done. Drives in the run. Got a good pitch to drive. Stayed short with his bat path to the ball and caught it out front. And he stayed long in his follow through. That's how you split the gap. And that's pretty much a double every time.
On the ground right side. It's through for a hit. And the leadoff man aboard.
People would sometimes come up to him and say, well, Buck, it's a shame that you didn't get a chance to play in Major League Baseball after Jackie breaks the color barrier. And Buck would simply look at them and say, oh, I was right on time. Had I been later, I wouldn't have seen Babe Ruth. I wouldn't have played with and against the likes of Josh Gibson and Satchel Paige. And so, no, I was right on time. I played when I was supposed to play. Don't feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for the people who didn't see me play. They're the ones who missed out. Buck O'Neil was the consummate glass half full kind of guy.
The greatest thing in all of my life is loving you.
Loving exactly where he was at that particular time and living life to his very fullest as it was taking place. I think we should all take a page from Buck O'Neil.
Buck O'Neil digs in with the bases full of Monarchs. Buck O'Neil is a baseball lifer. He was a Cubs scout for more than 40 years, and he helped them sign players like Ernie Banks, Lou Brock, and Lee Smith. Line, and that's a base hit. One runs in. In there, he's safe. And they're up by 3.
Herbie Hancock on my radio. Ooh, let's pull over for the stove.